Okay, on to Act 3, Scene 3. We've got Friar Lawrence's cell. Now, I should say that, some people think he's like in a prison cell. He's not. This is his chambers, right? His room that he gets at the monastery. Um, and we've got Romeo, Friar, and the nurse. Nurse is going to come in later. We're going to start with Romeo and the Friar talking about his banishment. And then the nurse shows up with Juliet's ring and to try to, talk to him about it. That's pretty much it. Friar tries to comfort Romeo about being banished, banished, if you will. Romeo, resists comforting. There's lots. If you don't like whininess, this is not going to be the scene for you. There's lots of crying and whining, and he's pretty dramatic. And then the nurse shows up. They come up with a plan because the friar always seems to have a plan. So Friar Lawrence is the first one that we see on the stage. Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wed to calamity. Calamity, of course, horribleness. And Romeo has not heard yet what's going to happen to him. So he asks, Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not? Friar Lawrence says, Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom. And Romeo is convinced that he's going to be put to death. What less than doomsday is the prince's doom? That's what less than hanging me could he possibly have, sentenced me to. Friar Lawrence says, A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment. Hey, it's not so bad. It's better, right? You don't have to be killed. You're just going to be banished for a while. Ha! Banishment. Oh, be merciful. Say death. For exile hath more terror in his looks, much more than death. Do not say banishment. Well, here from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide. There's no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death, and banished is death mistermed. Calling death banished, thou cuttest my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me. He's not very happy that he's been banished. He's being very emotional here. Okay. Oh, deadly sin. Oh, rude unthankfulness. Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law and turned that black word, death, to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest not. 'Tis torture, not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessings from her lips, who even in pure and vestal modesty still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Flies may do this, but from here, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, though ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me, banished? Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word banished? Okay, so at least here we get some idea of why he's hating being banished so much. He doesn't get to be with Juliet. Like everyone else, like flies can be around her, right? Flies who can be guilty for like landing on her and giving her a kiss, but I can't. Like I can't be anywhere near her. So if I can't be near Juliet, I might as well be dead, right? Again, you could take this as overly irrational or overly emotional, or you could take it as, wow, that's really sweet. Like he cares that much about Juliet, right? Or both, right? Why not? Thou fond madman, hear me a little speak. Oh, thou wilt speak of banishment. I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk philosophy to comfort thee. Thou art, though thou art banished. Yet banished, hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom, it helps not, it prevails not, talk no more. Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears. Well, how should they when wise men have no eyes? Let me dispute with thee of thy estate. Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, I think it's married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me and like me banished, then mightest thou speak, then mightest thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now. And Romeo throws himself down upon that ground. Sorry, upon the ground. We're not Shakespeare. Yeah. Taking the measure of an unmade grave. So there's a knock. Guess who it is? So all of this is just to show how, emotional and upset Romeo is about this. He doesn't even want to listen to what the friar has to say. The friar's trying to, I don't know, calm him down, make him feel a little bit better, but he doesn't even want to listen to it, right? Don't even talk to me if you're going to talk about me being banished. And this last part here, you can't speak of what you don't know. This is a pretty common argument when your parents, and yes, I'm talking about you, try to make you feel better when your boyfriend or girlfriend dumped you. And they say something like, well, no, I understand, I've been dumped before. Most of the time your reaction might be like, you don't understand. You don't know what it's like unless you've been in this exact situation, right? If you were as young as me and if Juliet was your love and you just got married and you just killed Tybalt and you just got banished, then you can talk to me, but you don't know. You don't know. All right. So, but he's trying to make it relatable because I'm sure conversations like that happened during Shakespeare's time, right? But here comes the nurse, we can guess. Arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself. Not I, unless the breath of heartsick groans, mislike, enfold me from the search of eyes. Oh, hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise. That will be taken. The friar thinks it's like the guards come to take him away. Stay a while, stand up. Run to my study, by and by, God's will. What simpleness is this? I come, I come. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will? Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet. Oh, it's the nurse. So he lets her in. Oh, welcome then. Enter the nurse. Oh, holy friar, tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo? Yeah, he's on the ground. You want to go pick him up? They're on the ground with his own tears made drunk. Oh, he is even in my mistress's case, just in her case. Oh, woeful sympathy, piteous and predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand up, stand, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into such a deep, like sigh, like, oh, woe's me. Nurse. Ah, sir, death's the end of all. Romeo rises up. Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer? Now I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own, now that I've killed Tybalt. Where is she? And how doth she? And what says she, my my concealed lady to our cancelled love? He's concerned. How is Juliet? What does she think about all this? Like, is she okay? Is she freaking out? Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and now falls on her bed and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then Romeo cries, and then down falls again. And Romeo says, as if that name shot from the deadly level of a gun did murder her, as that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Yeah, he thinks that she's probably, crying his name because she's so angry at him for killing Tybalt. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion, that I may kill myself. And he actually draws out a dagger and he's going to like stab himself, right? And the friar goes into a dramatic monologue. It's a very long speech, so get comfortable. Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out that thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast, unseemingly woman in a seeming man, an ill-seeming beast in seeming both. This is sexist because 1500s, you're acting like a woman. What are you saying? That women cry all the time? Yeah, it's the 1500s. Like that was their stereotype back then. So you look like a man, but you're acting like a woman, is what he's basically saying. So stand up and act like a man, right? That's what he's saying. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself and slay thy lady that in thy life lives by doing damn and hate upon thyself? Are you really going to kill yourself? Juliet will be devastated by that. Like, you've already killed Tybalt. She's already lost someone. You're going to kill somebody else, yourself, that she loves even more? Really? Why railest thou on thy birth, the heaven and earth, since birth and heaven and earth, all three do meet in thee at once, which thou at once wouldest lose? Fie, fie, thou shamest thy shape, thy love, thy wit, which like a usurer aboundest in all, and usest none in that true use indeed, which should bedeck thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form of wax. Okay. So you're gonna waste all three, right? You're gonna waste, your shape and your love and your wit. Like you have all three, and you're gonna waste them by killing yourselves. And then he goes into why he should keep all of them. And he says, well, first of all, your shape, you're a form of wax. Like you are hot. Man, you just look beautiful. You're really gonna kill that body. Digressing from the valor of a man, thy dear love sworn but hollow perjury, killing that love which thou hast vowed to cherish. You would kill Juliet if you killed yourself. Like that would completely destroy her. Thy wit, that ornament to shape and love, misshapen in the conduct of them both. Your wittiness, your brain, your intelligence is not in play here. You're not using your smarts, your brain. Um, this is not a smart thing to do, right? So act accordingly is what he's saying. Like powder in a skillless soldier's flask is set afire by thine own ignorance, and thou dismembered with thine own defense. What roused thee, man? Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. You thought that she hated you, but no, she still loves you. Okay, be happy about that. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. Tybalt would have killed you. You killed him. Be happy. You're supposed to be dead, but now you're exiled. Be happy. Like, why can't you be grateful for what you have, right? A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thy pouts about thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentest forth in lamentation. This is his plan. Okay, first, number one, ascend her chamber. Go find Juliet. You have to be with her on your wedding night. You need to do that. hence and comfort her, because that's what we're going to call it. But look thou stay not past the watch is set. Don't stay into the wee morning hours of the morning, because then the light's going to come up, they'll find you and they'll kill you. So get out of here. Go to Mantua. That's where he's going to be exiled. He's going to, spend his time there. And just sit and wait until we can find a time to allow you to be married to Juliet. Time will pass, people will forget all this, and then maybe we can make sure that the two families are okay with your marriage. And we need to beg pardon to the prince, allow him, or get him to allow you to come back. And that's it. Go before, nurse. So go, nurse, go back to Juliet before Romeo gets there. Commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto Romeo's coming. So tell everybody that you're going to bed because you're so sad you just want to be alone, right? And that would make sense to them. The nurse says, oh Lord, I could have stayed here all night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come. And Romeo says, do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide. The nurse says, here, sir, a ring she bid me give to you. So this is the ring. She gives Romeo the ring that Juliet gave him to give to her. Hi, make haste, for it grows very late. And she leaves. And Romeo says, how well my comfort is revived by this, by the ring. Friar Lawrence says, go then hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguised from hence, sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your man, I will find your servant, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here, every good thing that happens here. So we'll communicate through your servant. I'll send notes to your servant. He'll give them to you. You give notes to your servant to give to me. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night. And Romeo says, but that a joy past joy calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell. So I'm going. See ya. The significance of all this. So we have more characterization of Romeo. Same as usual, right? This isn't anything new. He's being reactive, right? He's not taking command of the situation. He's just, oh, this is happening to me. It's the same thing that happened with Rosaline. Oh, I can't do anything. I can't go to parties. I can't, because this one thing happened to me, I'm trapped forever. I can't do anything. I'm just going to sit here and mope and whine about it. The exact same thing is happening. Oh, I killed Tybalt, and that happened to me. Fate did that to me. So I can't do anything. I'm just gonna sit here and banish it. Oh, I'm so sad. Right. So it's more characterization, but it's showing him to be the same as he's always been. That's one thing Shakespeare is good at here, is that the characters don't act out of character. He characterizes them and keeps them in character the entire play. And the question is, does this show us how much Romeo loves Juliet, that he's so sad about this? Or does this show us that he's way too emotional? Is this showing us a tragic flaw, or both? Good question. And then the friar is always optimistic. He always has a plan. He's always thinking ahead. Hey, I got an idea. Let's do this. This is not the last time this will happen. And so it tells us something about the friar. And then finally, there's certainly more conflict here, right? We've created another conflict. We need Romeo to go, consummate the marriage, have his wedding night, and we have a plan. But is he going to be able to do that without getting caught? I guess we'll find out in the next scene or two. Thank you for watching.